What's up, guys? TCMuze. I know I'm probably a little bit late on this, but that new Pete Rock and Common joint, inspirational. Let's go ahead and cook up something like that. All right, y'all know what we getting into. Some old school golden era hip hop. Let's go ahead and bring it up. We're gonna start with, of course, the foundation. We're gonna play something in that sounds a little bit like a sample. Let's see if we can get that in. Gonna pull up a piano, this Arturia piano, neglected grand, as you guys know of. But in order to give it that lo-fi sample feel, I pulled up a little bit of Waves RetroFi through this guitar squashed acoustic on. Really gives it a lo-fi feel. Let me go ahead and play this in. We're just gonna do something inspiring. It sounds inspiring, that sounds soulful. Hey, if you made it this far, do me a favor, like and subscribe. Hey, let's move on to the next portion. We're gonna get those drums in. Let me show you what I'm using on the drums here right quick. We're using the Hazy Days collection from Native Instruments. Gonna take a quick second, break up those kick snares and hi-hats. All right, before we're done with these drums, I think I wanna add some percussions. We have Session Percussionist from Native Instruments. We have the Dragon Fruit preset. So I'm gonna just put that in and trigger it every 2 bars. All right, let's work on getting that bass in. Of course, we're using one of my favorites. We're over here using Modo bass, but instead of an electric bass, what we're using is an upright bass. You can see we're using this DB Bakery upright. Kind of dope. Definitely goes with the old school vibe or the golden era vibe. So what I'm gonna do here is just pulse on this beat on an 8th note pattern. Nothing difficult, very simple, straight ahead. It's just to give a little texture. All right, in the spirit of adding a little more texture, I found these sampled keys. I got these from Native Instruments Borough chops. Let me pull them up. They're in battery here. And what I did is I pitched all these samples in the orange. I pitched them all up to B. So anything that's like all these D sharps, these 2 D sharps are pitched up 8. The F is gonna be pitched up 6. And all of these Gs here, the G, they're gonna be pitched up by 4. So we're just gonna put this in, again, to just add more texture to the beat. All right, the last item that we're gonna add for texture is just gonna be some horns here, but horns are notoriously difficult to kind of pull off in the digital realm. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull up Session Horns Pro here. We're gonna do something really simple, but again, to give it that old school vibe, we pull up RetroFi using the same squashed acoustic preset, made a few little tweaks, but that kind of gives it that old vinyl, kind of less hi-fi type of sound. And like I said, we're not gonna do anything crazy here with our chord playing. We're not even gonna play chords. We're gonna just play one note walking up. Let's get into it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I think this note here, I want to just make a little bit louder. Let me just grab that note, increase the velocity. Yeah, we're just gonna change the velocity a little bit, but it looks like we're pretty consistent here. I think I like it. All right, let's move on. I think I'm gonna sing and rap over this, but I want a section for the singing and a section for the rapping. So I'm going to just copy what I have over and then make some adjustments, like those hi-hats. I don't think I want them playing the whole time. And then I'll pull the piano out and then maybe even put in something different just to give another tonal character to be the center, to carry the beat for a second instead of the piano just rocking the whole time. All right, let's take a quick look at what I did here for the verse. Like I said, I wanted to pull a couple of items out. As you can see, let me pull this up. These hi-hats, I just muted every other hi-hat, as you can see here. And then what did we do for the perks? Okay, we have the perks playing. Do we have the perks playing throughout? Perks are playing through the chorus and the verse. Cool. What I did for the bass is I copied that bass over, and you can see I just muted some of the places where I did runs. That way it just makes it a little less busy and kind of just makes it more straight ahead for the verse. All right, boom, boom, boom. All right, cool. So the last thing I want to do, let's see, let's go back because I think I muted a couple of other things. Yeah, I just straight muted out the strings and the sampled keys that were kind of at the top, the ear candy. But now I'm going to play in that other element that I wanted to be the main element for the verse while I muted out the piano. And that is going to be some like keys or synth keys, polyphonic C keys that I'm using here from Mini Freak V. It's called the Disrupted. Right. Hooked on Phonics, worked for me. Anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the same chord progression in, but as you'll hear, it has a different texture. All right, I think we're good there with all our instrumentation. Now we move on to the vocals, putting in the singing part for the hook, and then also the rapping part for the verses. Now for the hooks, like I said, I always suggest you writing out your hook melody or writing out your melody. All right, so we're here on the lead vocals. Really all that I did, let's see, let me take a look. Let me unmute these right quick. And let's look at the pitches. There we go. I was like, I know I did more than that. Of course I did. So you can see that I went through and I adjusted the pitches to again match the MIDI and the piano roll that I had already input. And you can see everything is basically been touched and slightly manipulated. Nothing here is left blue. Not sure if I did a great job or if I did a bad job here. Let's see what happened. Let's pull this up. Make this a little, yeah, there we go. Make that a little bit larger. Let's see what we're working with. Fit a little bit more here. If I take this and just delete everything, let's see how bad I was. Oh, it wasn't terrible. There we go. Let me put that back on before we mess something up. But yeah, it wasn't terrible. Just some minor touch-ups. Cool. Of course, I went ahead and tracked this out afterwards. I like to, when I mix something, I like to mix the wave files instead of just the output of the virtual instruments. One thing that I want to mention that I did after I tracked this out is I processed the drums a little bit more. Let me share with you what I did with the drums. So with the kick and the snare, I put knock on. Here's the kick, and here's my here's my settings for what I did for knock. Knock just kind of does that thing where it makes your kicks, snares, hi-hats knock, you know? So I put a little knock on the kick and then did the same thing to the snare here. Similar, I don't know what probably not the same settings, but just something to make the snare work and pop out of the mix a little louder. So after the tuning of the vocals, what I did was I wanted to EQ them. So there's my EQ curve. Then I followed that up with, there we go, IK Multimedia's Black 76, one of my go-tos, only doing about 3 dB of gain reduction, and then a white 2A from IK Multimedia, again, about 3 dB of gain reduction. Oh, before I finish with that, I have this lead group bus here, which I kind of take both of the verse lead and the chorus lead, and then I give it just a little extra edge by putting Gorilla Drive on there. And then I make them just a little bit wider, 25%, using Polyverse's Infected Mushrooms wider plugin. That was free at some point in time. I'm not sure if it still is. I'm not gonna walk through the harmonies. Again, the same thing. I might as well tell you the harmonies. I did do something a little different with the EQ. I took the bottom and the tops off because I don't really need that for the backgrounds and the harmonies. But then again, followed it up with a Black 76. And then finally put the wider on there just to spread them out a little bit further. So, okay, cool. There's also my buses. I have a reverb bus, a delay bus, a doubler bus, and a chorus bus. Let me show you what's on those right quick. So the reverb bus, let me grab that. So the reverb bus, IK Multimedia's Classic Studio Reverb. I just adjusted it to taste. And then for the delay, we have H delay, ping pong, eighth note, took the analog off. I don't like the way that sounds. And then just high pass and low pass a little bit on both of those. And then I have this set up that wherever the lead vocal, which is coming in, I also have bus 9. Whenever that plays, it compresses the delay so the delay is not getting all in the way. Then we have Waves Doubler. For the doubler program, I've muted the middle and then pulled off the lows and the highs a little bit, just to get the vocals a little bit heavier. Then I have a chorus. I'm using the Arturia Chorus June 6 just to, again, make the vocals a little wider. So those are my buses that I'm using here. Nothing really crazy, but it is efficient, you know, simple, minimalistic, and efficient. What else can I show you here? Yeah, I think that's about it. You know, I got my harmonies over here. You'll have to wait and hear the harmonies, but they're all tuned with Waves Tune. I tune them a little bit harder than what I would tune a lead vocal because I'm just going to throw them in the back. All right, let's get back over here to the track area and I'll play it all out. I appreciate y'all coming along for the ride. And as always, stay up.
Ain't nothing sweeter than you. Strong as liquor when 90 proof. Under oath, gon' tell the truth. That I can't buy a loving like this. Can't buy a loving like this. Nothing sweeter, there's only you. I understand that your trust trust can't be handed out freely. Nah need to rush, we gon' keep it tight peasy. Tempted to touch cause your style is so breezy. Birds in the bush, the fly and the bee stings. These things is natural. Magnetism make me wanna get at you, girl. We got a rhythm, two-step, get that a twirl. But if you whine 2 times, you become my girl.